I deserve a break. Send $8,000 for my cruise. My sister texted after I bought her a car, paid her rent, and covered her tuition. I was about to send it, until I got an anonymous letter with her laughing. He can't even say no. Then I texted her back one word, no, and froze everything. Within hours, the group chat exploded. My sister called 27 times. I did not reply, because this morning, I got a second letter, and this one had a name. My name is Noah. I'm 33. I'm the older brother who fixes the Wi-Fi, labels the storage bins, and leaves last because I'm the one folding chairs. In the family group chat, I'm saved as Noah Logistics. I own a dented hatchback, two toolboxes, and a spreadsheet that has more colors than a kindergarten classroom. I run at 6 a.m. because I like finishing something before anyone needs me. People say I'm steady, dependable. Background: my sister, Lila, is 29 and lives like there's always a camera. Mom says she's building a brand, the way other moms say finishing grad school. Lila knows her angles and talks in affirmations. Beige quotes with her initials at the bottom. New jackets that never look warm. She calls stress the work of transformation and naps non-negotiable healing. If you ask my dad about me, he says, Noah is solid. If you ask about Lila, he lights up. Lila is special. That's our family's story, gold child, concrete child. Last Sunday, we had a simple dinner that accidentally grew. It always grows. Mom asked everyone to share one intention for Q4. Dad played music too loud from a tiny speaker. Aunt Patrice arrived with her famous cheesecake and no serving knife. I found a knife. I wiped the counters. I fixed the toaster. Lila came late, breezed in with a scarf like a banner, and kissed Mom's cheek. Everyone breathe in abundance, she said, half joking, half serious. She handed me her empty water bottle and said, Can you fill this with filtered? Tap makes me puffy. We ate. They discussed Lila's projects the way people discuss weather, big, important, out of our control. Collaborations. Retreats. A leadership cruise, someone mentioned, and everyone hummed. When I said my supervisor offered me more hours, Dad said, Proud of you. Then asked if I'd look at the printer upstairs because it does that thing. Aunt Patrice clinked her fork. Here's to Lila, she said, our star. People cheered. I cut the cake. Lila angled the plate toward a lamp and said, Can we move this? Shadows. Every movie needs a grip, Aunt Patrice told me. You're our grip. It wasn't cruel. It was just labeling. After, I carried the dead printer to the kitchen table, popped the back, and pulled a paper jam the size of a deck of cards. Lila leaned on the doorframe, scrolling. You always know how to fix things, she said. Occupational hazard, I said, hands black with toner. I drove home under streetlights that flicker when the city forgets them. My building sits over a laundromat that thumps like a tired heart. When I pushed my door, an envelope slid forward from the gap, plain white, no stamp, my name on a label, Noah. Inside, one line, centered. No greeting, no sign-off. He can't even say no. I stood in my kitchen with my jacket still on and read it 3 times. The paper felt heavier than paper. I checked the hallway. Empty. I checked the stairwell. Silent. I put the envelope on my counter next to the budget binder. I told myself it was a prank. A weird neighbor. I washed a mug I'd already washed. At 11:42 p.m., the family chat pinged. Lila posted a beige square. Let it be easy. Mom replied with stars. Dad sent a thumbs up. I locked my phone and turned it face down. I slept badly, with the sentence under my eyelids like a watermark. At 6:12 a.m., I ran my loop and counted cracks in the sidewalk. When I came back, there was another envelope under my door. Same label, same weight. I picked it up. I didn't open it. Not yet. The thread didn't start with paper. It started with a car lot that smelled like old coffee and a salesman who called everything sweetheart. Lila was 24 and leaving a toxic roommate situation. Mom said the city wasn't safe late at night and Ubers add up. We should get her something reliable, she told me, like saying we should pick up eggs. We found a 2012 Civic, dark blue, 89,400 miles, air conditioner that whined when you turned it too high. I wrote a check, $10,200. I put her on my insurance, $123 per month. Just until she's steady, Mom said, hugging me like I'd donated a kidney. Lila posed with the keys and captioned it, Mobility equals freedom. She tagged me in size 6 font at the end of a string of hashtags. Tuition was next. Not a degree. Lila is post-institution. A 12-week branding cohort in a co-working space with neon signs that say hustle but soft. $4,800. This is the room where it happens, she said. I paid. I bought a ring light, $52, and Canva Pro, $119 per year. I added her to my phone plan because hers kept getting shut off for billing complications, $45 per month, then $57 when she needed more data for lives. Rent happened in drips that became a river. Just this month, turned into the landlord is predatory. I sent $600 once, $800 once, $1,200 more times than I want to remember. I made a tab in my spreadsheet. Lila, support. Dates. Amounts. Notes. Parking ticket, $73. Headshots, $240. Domain, $18. Community dinner, $85. With poetry from someone named Sparrow. Emergency dentist, $380. Totals rolled forward in a pale yellow cell, like a quiet car moving a cone. Small humiliations stacked. At the DMV, Lila handed me the clipboard because she gets hives around forms. She bought a palm tree air freshener and asked if it would compromise the vibe. The clerk asked who owned the vehicle. I said I did, because it made the conversation end faster. On the drive home, Lila talked about a podcast that changed her nervous system. The host, Marin Vale, runs something called The Ledger. Beige tote bags. Boundaries as a lifestyle. The Ledger says we teach people how to treat us, Lila told me, like she discovered gravity. She bought the tote. At Thanksgiving, Aunt Patrice clinked a glass. To Lila, she said, who is building something brave. Everyone cheered. I carved turkey. Mom whispered, we invest in the child who needs it most. When I mentioned my mortgage rate jumped, Dad patted my shoulder. You're tough, he said. I kept paying. When Lila's laptop died mid-edit, I found a refurbished one, $640. When her gym job required on-brand leggings, I covered $92. When she wanted aesthetic storage for her home office, I bought 3 boxes, $45. When she pivoted from content strategist to creative coach to digital community lead, each pivot came with a workshop, $160, a template pack, $39, and a coffee with a founder, $14. I'll pay you back when my brand stabilizes, she said, always warm, always sincere, always later. In HQ, our family chat, my name meant logistics. Noah, can you pick up Dad's refill? Noah, can you check the HDMI? Noah, can you drive Lila at 6 a.m. for a shoot? Yes, yes, yes. Saying yes is shorter than the argument. Last month, Lila got hired part-time at a wellness collective. The collective hosts an annual leadership cruise. Photos from last year. Yoga mats on a deck, champagne in silver buckets, sunsets that look filtered. Lila's eyes turned into little suns when she talked about it. This is the expansion, she said. This is the room where the ocean meets my future. Mom FaceTimed me. Serious voice. We're so proud of Lila, she said, moving the camera so close I could see her pores. She's been selected for the leadership cruise. Lila slid into the frame, hair shiny. I deserve a break, she sang. After everything. How much? I asked because that's my role. It's not about that, Mom said. But it is. 800. I asked, stupid on purpose. 1,000, Mom said fast, like tearing off tape. It covers everything. She'll be reimbursed later through brand partnerships. This is an investment. I looked at my own reflection in the corner of the screen. The dead printer was on my table waiting for a part. The first envelope sat on the counter like an extra plate. I need to think, I said. Don't overcomplicate, Mom said. Sometimes you step into faith. I ended the call and cleaned my kitchen like I was being graded. I opened my spreadsheet and added a line. Cruise, $8,000, request. In the notes I typed, reimbursed later. I changed the cell to orange so I wouldn't look directly at it. The second envelope was still there. I opened it. Inside, 1 page, 3 lines, and a square QR code at the bottom like a ticket. You don't owe anyone your whole life to be loved. If you want proof, scan the QR. Trust that you already know. I scanned it. A video opened. Vertical. Lila and 2 friends at a kitchen island. A bowl of oranges in the foreground. Lila smiled like she was doing a skincare ad. Watch me ask him, she said. He can't even say no. They laughed. She typed. She held her screen up. The video cut. I stared at my wall until the white looked gray. In HQ, a beige square arrived. Let it be easy, Lila posted. Then she sent me the text like a subject line. I deserve a break. Send $8,000 for my cruise. I was about to send it. Then I imagined the oranges and the laugh. I put my phone down. I went to work. I reset routers. I carried a ladder up 3 flights. I changed the batteries in the exit sign. All day the text sat on my screen like a dare. Some things don't change until you pick a word and say it out loud. At 6:13 p.m., staring at my ceiling, I typed the smallest word I had. No. I hit send. No essay. No emoji. No softening. I toggled airplane mode and slid the phone under a stack of mail. At 7:02 p.m., someone knocked like a polite question. At 7:03, the knock turned into a statement. At 7:05, my buzzer rang. Noah. Mom's voice came through grainy. Pick up. I didn't. I showered and let the water run longer than usual. When I turned my phone back on, the screen flooded. HQ. Answer. Don't do this. This isn't you. Your sister deserves support. We will pay you back when her brand stabilizes. Where's your faith? Lila separately, hello? 8 isn't even that much for you. Stop being dramatic. Send it. Early rate ends tonight. I didn't reply. The next night was Dad's union retirement party in the church hall. Folding chairs, sheet cake, balloons hitting ceiling tiles, microphone that whistles. The worst place to do a big thing, which is always where big things happen in our family. I brought the slideshow and the HDMI they didn't have. I taped down cords. I tried to be furniture. Lila beelined, lashes perfect. You're being cruel, she said. This is an expansion for me, and you're stuck in scarcity. Mom appeared. We asked for one thing, she said. Why are you making this about you? You never push back. You're scaring me. Aunt Patrice hovered, scented like hairspray and news. I looked at them and felt something click into place like a seat belt finally engaged. This isn't about revenge, I said. This is about closure. Closure? Lila scoffed. You're closing what? Your heart? Congratulations, Monk. I'm closing the revolving door where I fund your feelings, I said. I'm closing autopays I never agreed to. I'm closing the assumption that my peace is a fair trade for your plans. Mom's face went cold. Family isn't a spreadsheet, she said. Family isn't a subscription, I said. Canceling is allowed. Lila laughed once sharp. You won't do it, she said. You never do. You're addicted to being the hero. You can't even say no. The sentence from the letter stood between us like a person. Watch me, I said. I cut the cake because it was Dad's night. I hugged him. He squeezed my shoulder and whispered, let's not make your mother cry, which is code for keep swallowing. I left before the slideshow looped a second time. At home, a third envelope waited under my door. Same label. Inside, thicker paper. A name at the bottom in clean serif. Marin Vale, the ledger. The cult figure Lila quotes on tote bags. Noah, I sent the first 2 letters. Your sister praises my show online and ignores it offline. I told her to stop using you like an ATM with a pulse. She laughed. He can't say no, she said. I'm not against Lila. I'm for you. This is not revenge. This is a boundary. Marin. A second page. A screenshot of Lila's private story with a poll. Will he cave? 1. Immediately 2. After 2 guilt texts. 80+% tapped immediately. I sat very still. Somewhere in the building a pipe knocked like a small apology. Then I started closing doors. I began with what was mine to touch. I opened my banking app and froze every card Lila had ever used. The gas card, freeze. The food delivery app linked to my Visa from one time, 2 summers ago, delete. The vitamins subscription that kept auto-shipping to her door, canceled. I removed her line from my phone plan. The carrier asked, reason? I typed, rebalancing. I changed my PIN. I moved savings to a different bank. I turned off Zelle. I set 2-factor to codes only I can see. Then I texted Lila one word again, because repetition teaches. No. At 9:12 a.m., HQ lit up. Noah, this is alarming. Are you okay? Send the 8, and we'll process later. Do not make a scene. This is not the day. At 9:16, Lila started calling. She called 27 times. I watched the number climb and didn't pick up. I put the phone in a drawer so it stopped being the loudest thing in the room. At noon, an unknown number. We should talk. MV. Then, Marin Vale. Then, public place. Your choice. I picked a coffee shop with 2 bright lights and music that doesn't know what it wants. Marin arrived in a black coat and sneakers that looked fast. She sat, phone face down. I'm sorry to do it like this, she said. Same voice as the podcast, no microphone smile. Lila idolizes my brand and ignores my content. She quotes me to ask for money. She made you a bit. She'll hate you, I said. She already does, Marin said. She said I'm jealous. I'm not. I'm concerned. Quiet people like you collapse quietly. She slid a small envelope across the table. Inside, A printed screenshot of the poll and a transcript of a voice note. Noah is obsessed with being useful. He'll pay. He always pays. My name on paper felt like someone finally spelled it right. I pick one quiet person a month, Marin said. 3 letters. Mirror, proof, permission. The permission isn't mine. You sign it. I signed it last night, I said. Good, she said. They escalate before they recalibrate. Expect nukes. Define nukes. She'll call you unfair, Marin said. She'll say you hate women generally and her specifically. She'll weaponize your mother's tears. She'll threaten to show up at your job, your building, your friends' places. She'll try to drag you into an essay. Don't write one. What do I say? Say this. I am no longer available to fund your choices. Then stop. I nodded like I was learning a script. My phone buzzed like a fly. Marin waited while I silenced it without reading. One more thing, she said. Don't perform this. No victory post. No subtweets. Boundaries don't require an audience. I'm not built for speeches, I said. Excellent, she said, and handed me a small tin. A candle. The label, closure. Sent notes printed in small letters. Lemon peel, plain paper, clean wood. Light this for yourself, she said. Not against anyone. Back at my building, Lila was in the foyer with her beige ledger tote. She pasted on a social smile. There you are, she said. You made your little point. Send it. We can move on. I'm not sending the 8, I said. Or the 2. Or the 1. She blinked. You're depriving me of an opportunity. You know I have a sensitive nervous system. You turned me into a pole, I said. She rolled her eyes. We were joking. You weren't, I said. You were counting. She stepped closer. Open your phone, she said. Right now? Send it, and we never talk about this again. I'm also taking you off my phone plan, I said. It's my plan. You can get your own. Her mouth fell open. You did what? It goes off at midnight, I said. This is unacceptable, she said. I feel unsafe. You feel unfunded, I said. She reached for the tote, like a shield. I don't trust Marin Vale, she snapped. I'm skeptical about how the ledger operates for girls who think saying no makes them spiritual. She wrote to me. I said. A crack ran across her face. She what? She sent the letters, I said. With my name. With yours. With the poll. She would never, Lila said. She's a feminist. She's a person who believes in budgets, I said. You followed the brand and skipped the content. For a second, Lila looked 12 again, the age when she'd cry because her favorite cereal was gone and I'd bike to the bodega. Then the armor slid back on. You're dead to me, she said. And to Mom. And to Dad. We will tell everyone what you're like. Tell them, I said. She jabbed the elevator button 6 times. Took the stairs when it didn't come fast enough. Footsteps echoing. Silence. That night Mom left 3 voicemails. The first was crying. The second was anger. The third was calm like a hostage negotiator. If you refuse to participate in this family, we will go on without you, she said. Consider the consequences. Dad sent a thumbs up to the voicemail because he doesn't understand phones. Aunt Patrice texted privately. I get it, she wrote. But maybe send half? For optics. No. I cooked rice and an egg, added kimchi, and ate at my table while the machines downstairs turned. I booked a therapist for Tuesday. I put my phone in the bowl with my keys. I slept. In the new group chat, Mom accidentally added me to before removing me. She wrote, should we show up at his job? Lila, bad optics. I'll cry in his lobby. Aunt Patrice, good optics. Tasha, Lila's friend, forwarded the screenshots to me with, you didn't see this from me. Also low-key, Marin is a legend. I locked my door. Saturday at 7:40 a.m., Lila knocked for 8 minutes and 40 seconds. I know because I timed it, so I wouldn't exaggerate later. Open up, she said. We're talking like adults. I didn't. You embarrassed me, she texted through the door. I told people you were generous. Do you know how that makes me look? I didn't answer. Monday, my paycheck landed. I moved money into a category called health that I always kept at 0 because it felt indulgent. I bought a better pillow. 3 pairs of matching socks. I meal prepped not from fear, but from future kindness. I took the long way home because the air smelled like bread from the bakery that starts too early. Wednesday, Lila posted a black screen. Some people only love you when you're small. She added her Venmo and a link to a wish list. Packing cubes, magnesium gummies, a glossy suitcase that would look good in a port photo. People sent $5 in hearts. I didn't need to be the comments. The cruise dates came and went. Lila posted from a friend's yard with a kiddie pool and a ring light. Caption, create the life you want. I hope she does. Dad texted a picture of a bird in the garage. What kind? Ren, I wrote. Cute, he replied. We are learning a new language built from small things that are not crises. I lit Marin's candle one night. Lemon and paper. The room smelled like a new notebook. I wrote 3 lines in my notes app for me, not for the internet. 1. I am not a wallet with a face. 2. I am allowed to be boring. 3. This isn't revenge. It's closure. The next week, Lila got her own phone plan. She texted the number. FYI. I wrote back. Proud of you. No reply. That was fine. Pride doesn't demand a screenshot. It's quiet now, not lonely. The group chat pings less. The world didn't end when I used a small word. My days have air where panic used to live. I eat breakfast at a table instead of in a car. I take a bike repair class on Thursdays and fix my own brake cable. I call my friend Malik and we talk about movies that cost $4.99 to rent. The laundromat hum below me feels like a neighbor, not a warning. Mom still sends beige guilt bombs. I mute them. Dad forwards memes he doesn't understand. I send one back. He replies, LOL. Then, what's LOL? We are building something small and workable. Lila hasn't apologized. She might never. She launched a series called Budgeting for Dreamers, where she says, track what you treasure. People clap in the comments. I don't need to be the comments. Sometimes she texts logistics I used to handle. How do I change my insurance address? What is a deductible? If I have bandwidth, I answer. If I don't, I don't. Once she wrote, I hate you mid-spiral, then ignore. I ignored. 2 days later, got my own plan. I sent, proud. It fit. I kept the envelopes in a drawer. Not a shrine. Evidence I needed. Sometimes I read the line that started it. He can't even say no, and it feels like an old ID with the wrong address. I can say no. I can also say yes. The difference is that now I choose. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. I said it in a church hall with balloons and a cheap mic. It's still true in my kitchen with a humming fridge. Closure isn't cinematic. It's boring and sturdy. It looks like turning off autopay. It sounds like a phone that doesn't buzz for a while. Here's my rule now. I am not a budget line in someone else's plan. Love isn't debt. Support isn't a standing order. Boundaries aren't punishment. They're a map I can read in the dark. If someone asks me to trade my peace for their convenience, I'll reach for the word that saved me and say it. No. Then I'll make dinner, water the plant, and go to bed on a better pillow. I won't drain myself to keep a room warm. I won't be in walking wallet. I won't let solid mean invisible. I deserve a life that fits. And this, quiet, simple, chosen does.